welcome you to Soccer County on this humid Saturday night where another first ever USL League One meeting awaits. It's Westchester SC and one Knoxville SC, both desperate to get back in the win column here at the stadium at Memorial Field. Say hello and welcome. Sam Goldfarb, thrilled to bring you all of the action this evening. It's a Westchester side that has gone through an unfortunate match script, a similar match script, each of the last 5 matches, leading in those 5 games, dropping a total of 13 points from those. And you look at last week, the most egregious of them, leading multiple times against Hartford Athletic, conceding twice in the final 15 minutes to fall 3-2 in the Jägermeister Cup. Dave Carton saying it's a familiar point of frustration that they hope to address. Going forward, there is no frustration. Juan Carlos Obregon Jr. is a man on fire. You see the numbers in all comps. How about this? In the last 4 across all competitions, 5 goals for JC Obregon Jr. He is one of the best forwards in USL League One and our player to watch here tonight. On the other side of things for Ian Fuller's bunch, this is a side that got off to a flying start, but recently a slight defensive downturn. They're built on their back line, and when they opened the season 6 unbeaten in League One, 4 clean sheets in the first 7 across all comps, and then the last 5 matches you've seen a slight downturn, back-to-back defeats entering tonight for the first time all year. We are just about set for kickoff between Westchester SC and one Knoxville. Both teams looking to snap out of recent winless runs. Stick with us, lineups and kickoff next on ESPN+.
Being healthy means you can do what makes you happy with the people who make you smile. Health First Insurance plans connect you to care you can trust for a happy family and a healthy future. With Health First, it's all within your reach.
You expect Manhattan-level care, and you live in Westchester. With Northwell, you'll find it all right here through this store in Terrytown and this one in Katona, at Phelps Hospital and Northern Westchester Hospital. It's where you'll find a vast network of world-class doctors delivering primary door leading to extraordinary care right here in Westchester. Northwell, raise health.
We welcome you back to the stadium at Memorial Field in Mount Vernon, New York. It is the first ever meeting between Westchester SC and one Knoxville SC. Tonight's match is presented by Northwell Health. It's time to get a look at our starting lineup, starting with the home side. Westchester under first-year head man Dave Carton, a 3-4-2-1 formation. They make one change personnel-wise. Kemar Lawrence is out tonight with an injury. He was subbed off 29 minutes into the Jägermeister Cup match last week against Hartford. Andrew Jean-Baptiste replaces him in that outside center back role. And then as you head further up the pitch, keep your eye on Josh Drack, a new addition from Charleston Battery about 3 weeks ago. He has been so dynamic on that left flank, very good at inverting as well. On the other side, Ian Fuller in his first year at the helm of one Knoxville SC. He also is forced into a few alterations. Siebert Haugley slotting into the heart of defense, usually a holding midfielder, but with the absence of the injured Danny Fernandez, That is a required change. In addition, Abel Caputo back into that holding midfield role. And then as you head further up the pitch, the dynamic wing duo of Stavros Zarakostis and Gio Calixtro, who returns to the side for the first time in 6 games. We are just about set to get things underway here from Westchester. A humid night, thunderstorms earlier in the day. Temperatures just south of 80 degrees Fahrenheit. It is a classic Northeast summer night as we get set for the first ever clash between Westchester SC and One Knoxville. It is a Westchester squad that is winless in its last 9 in all competitions. The Bugaboo conceding late and dropping points from winning position. 17 is the number that they have conceded in all comps from winning spots. They face a One Knoxville side that also looks to get back on the right side of the victory ledger. We await our referee signal. It is One Knox in the white and orange. It is Westchester in the blue and white. And underway here from the stadium at Memorial Fields. This should be a fun one between Westchester and One Knox. We thank you for joining us here on ESPN Plus. Sam Goldfarb bringing you all of the action. A pair of sides that have not won in their last 5+ extrapolated across all competitions. There is more urgency surrounding Westchester, though. Ian Fuller from the One Knox saying there is no sense of panic. We maybe had to retool a bit during our 2 weeks between fixtures, but nothing particularly concerning just yet. Stavros Zarakostis is penalized for that overzealous challenge. Goaling. An early yellow card, it seems. And it appears that's actually going against Joel Johnson, so he is the first man in the book today. He touched the ball with his hands. That's what drew the referee's ire. Well, it does set up One Knox in a rather appetizing position for this free kick. And after 90 seconds, Westchester's leader in the center of the park is walking a tightrope. It's Stuart Ritchie who stands over this. Dinging it towards the back post, headed along and knocked in! But the flag is raised on the far side. Westchester bailed out just inside 2 minutes. Well, it's a delicious delivery, this. And it appears Tequila actually got the final touch. Yes, he did. But offside as the flag is raised. Major break for the Golden Apple. Early action here already. It's Calixtro, the top toward not a single victory in all comps since April 2nd. That was the 2nd round of the US Open Cup on this very ground against New York Pan Cyprian Freedoms. Talking to Dave Carton, he says the performances have been good, especially going forward. He's been very pleased with his side, and when you look at the numbers analytically, a team that ranks in the top 4 in goals scored, that is not the point of concern. Dave Carton saying, you look at almost every advanced analytical number besides goals allowed and duels won, nothing correlates to us being in the league position we're in. A side that sits just a couple points off the cellar and is 3 points adrift of postseason pace. Says we still just have to clean things up, and whether that's a matter of gaining control of the match with possession or not taking our foot off the gas when we build multi-goal leads, that's what we're grappling with. For One Knoxville, it's also a side that got off to a flying start. Ian Fuller saying that the last 5 games, it felt like they lost their way a bit in terms of their principles. And in their 2 weeks off between the 1-0 Jaeger Cup defeat against Indy 11 and now, there was heavy emphasis on what he called almost a truncated preseason. This team just hoping to reestablish some of the principles that made them so successful, both physically and tactically, in the first month or so of the season. Just about 5 minutes gone. Knoxville throwing the first warning shots Westchester's way. Kempis Tequila nodding it in, but the offside flag was raised on the far side. Here's Drac. Looking ahead. Guzin drops the shoulder to the byline. First proper sojourn forward so far for Westchester. Well, there is your look at the man donning the captain's armband, Jordan Skelton, an established veteran in USL League One. A back-to-back all-league first-team selection for One Knoxville, and is really the focal point of this defense. He organizes everything, obviously incredibly skilled, and what a job he's done to revitalize his career in this league. Someone who began his career at Tormenta, then had to take a trip to USL League Two before revamping things in 2022 with North Carolina FC. Since then, a mainstay for One Knox the last 3 years. Sadie, overlapping run from Payne, has options in the box. Shot deflected, falls to Haugley. Space to break now for One Knox. Dink over the top. Space to break for One Knoxville. Guzin. Late challenge from Goling. Well, so far, Westchester, an unfamiliar match script, pinned in its own half. You see here Goling late to tackle Guzin there. No doubt a whistle for that. There's your look at one of the creative playmakers for Westchester. Dean Guzin finally getting a consistent run of matches in the 11 of late. A 4th league start of the year for the man who joined from the Polish second tier this offseason. It is a very, very well-traveled Westchester squad. They have players with MLS experience, the likes of Jean-Baptiste as well as Kemar Lawrence, who is out tonight. Veterans of the USL ranks like JC Obregon and others. And then, of course, a very heavy Netherlands contingent. 3 or 4 players who were born in the Netherlands, trained in Dutch academies, and have played abroad. It's a very unique blend of players who have made their trade across the world and are still gelling as this side still approaches full health. Brown, one of the more dynamic right backs in USL League One. Looks over the top to Zarkostas. Well, just shy of 10 minutes on the clock here in Westchester County. Sam Goldfarb bringing you all of the action tonight here at the stadium at Memorial Field in Mount Vernon, New York. First ever meeting between One Knox and Westchester. You look at the table, it has pretty hefty implications. It's a One Knox side that, as things stand with the current live table, finds themselves 2 points above the playoff line. This is a side that has spent a good chunk of the year in the top 4, but recent slumps have seen them tumble a bit. For Westchester, despite all of the struggles in the live table, just 4 points off of the top 8, despite sitting second from bottom in the table. Shows you how gridlocked these standings really are if your club is not named Spokane, FC Naples, or Charlotte. And even the top of the table is all within a trio of points of each other. Quick turn from Kalikstrup, and he looks for Ritchie, who's not shy about bombing forward. Early cross in, lovely switch of the play. This runs all the way through, and routine for Hammersley. And a slick bit of build-up here from One Knox. It's a scintillating switch, and you see Brown, it's not dealt with confidently and by any means by Johnson. The effort had rather little sting to it. Bauman. And here's Prince Sadie, the former USL Championship man. Slithering inside, curling, and he was not far off. There is the first proper chance for the home side. And Prince Sadie nearly conjured another spectacular. He scored a goal similar to this 2 weeks ago against Richmond. You see him cut in on his left, wraps his boots around it, and he clearly had Lewis beaten. Very fortunate for One Knox that he could not nestle that in the far side corner. McGlynn. Sadie again. You've seen him play with a new layer of confidence these last few weeks. Payne. Sprayed wide over to Josh Drack, who has issues coping with it. Well, there is the new signing. Josh Drack, 25 years of age, joining from Charleston Battery. He's only been a member of the club for about 3 weeks. Joined on May 16th. It's just his third league start, but Dave Carton thrilled with his addition. He's mentioned how early in the year, with Kemar Lawrence battling through constant injuries, they lacked a true left back. They were forced to play Samori Powder, who's more of a wide midfielder, serves himself better on the right, to be honest, in left back, which was great attacking-wise, but left them a bit exposed at the back. So the ability to bring in a more natural left back who's played at a higher level, he feels has helped the side on both ends of the pitch, especially with Lawrence battling through a revolving door of knocks these last few months. Drag. Well, it is a lively atmosphere here in Westchester. A rapidly growing club, the 914th Infantry, constantly packing the stands each week as that challenge sends Stephen Payne clattering to the deck. Westchester is a passionate soccer town. New York City area lacking a USL club, and until this very moment, of course, Brooklyn is going to join the fold in a couple years' time as well. There's Drac, pops up centrally. And out wide for Guzin. McGlynn. Here is the star man Obregon. Guzin, clever turn, hits from afar! That would have been sensational. There is the invention from the likes of Dean Guzin the Westchester fans have been awaiting. Just spins past his defender. Johnson late to react, and he has a clear pop at it. Just blasts it wide. Plenty of technique on this and plenty of ferocity in the effort. Already an early injury concern for One Knox. Appears to be Jaheim Brown, who's getting some attention. We'll just beyond the quarter of an hour mark here in Westchester County. 0-0 between Westchester SC and One Knoxville SC. It is a fixture that could alter the momentum for each of these two teams. For Westchester, we've spoken a lot about the 9 winless. So many points dropped from winning positions. And when you look at the roster, the makeup of so many established players like Stephen Payne, J.C. Obregon Jr., Prince Sadie as well. This is a team loaded with talent and has invested money to bring in some of the top talent in the league. The question is now getting some results over the line and turning it into 3 points. It's a Knoxville side that throughout the years grinded out points, but recently has battled through some issues on that front. As Jaheim Brown takes another shot to the head and is down in a heap. This is definitely a point of concern for One Knox. Jaheim Brown is one of the better attacking fullbacks in USL League One. Ian Fuller's very high on his potential, the native of Kingston, Jamaica. Just get another look here, trying to close down the crosser. The ball clatters right off his head. Not a pretty situation by any means. Well, there is your look at Ian Fuller on the touchline. First season at the helm of One Knoxville, and what a job he's done at reinvigorating them going forward. Last year for One Knox, it was a side that finished 5th and reached their first ever playoffs, but scored the least goals in USL League One. This year, averaging about a goal and a half a contest in all comps. They find themselves still toward the bottom in League One goals, but the output has been better And when you factor in how solid they've been defensively over the course of this year and previous years, that is a winning formula. He is hoping for a bit more dynamism on the flanks. I talked to him this week. He said that in the 2 weeks off, they've put more emphasis on trying to play a bit wider and get their fullbacks involved in the attack. And you've already seen that a little bit with both Drac and Richie shooting forward. It's very high on both fullbacks' abilities to provide attacking punch, and there's hope that tonight will start that trend. Of course, Ian Fuller himself, so much experience as an assistant coach in MLS. Someone who spent 8 seasons at Minnesota United, primarily under Adrian Heath, has mentioned what a valuable learning experience that was for him. Now in his first gig at the helm, off to a positive start despite recent bumps in the road. Here's Tequila, always the point of difference up front. Richie. Calixtro. Tucks it inside. Space to cross for Richie. Early, and a free header that Calixtro just can't steer on target. Well, fans, watch the USL Championship in Spanish on 2DN, the nation's leading Spanish-language sports network. Select matches will be available in Spanish throughout the rest of the season. Go to uslchampionship.com for the complete USL TV listings. We are 20 minutes gone here in Westchester County. A raucous crowd at the stadium at Memorial Field. Sam Goldfarb bringing you all of the action in a scoreless affair thus far between Westchester SC and one Knoxville SC. It's a Westchester side that led multiple times in the Jägermeister Cup tie with Hartford Athletic last weekend. Blew both leads and conceded twice in the final 15. Dave Carton saying that he felt there were chances they could have taken up a goal and said, against a team in the championship, you need to take your chances or you will be undone. Obregon, he takes chances like nobody else in this league. Flatters it off the back of his defender, and Payne will be penalized for that tackle. Payne's just trying to keep this in play. I tell you what, he does get ball first. But maybe it's the follow-through which at least makes the referee blow the whistle. Well, fans, catch every heart-pounding moment at Westchester's home stadium at Memorial Field in Mount Vernon. 2025 season tickets are on sale now, offering flexible payment plans, priority access, discounts, invites to exclusive events, and much more. Don't miss out on an unforgettable season of fun, friends, community, and soccer. Visit westchestersc.com to become a 2025 season ticket member today. Here's Richie. Has options alongside Calixtro. Excellent recovery by Rashid Tedup. Midway through this first half, and after a rapid start in which Knoxville had a goal disallowed after just 2 minutes, things have settled into a more cagey chess match, and it makes sense given the urgency surrounding especially Westchester to notch a victory, probably prioritizing that defensive security. This is knocked ahead, clattering into Hammersley as the attacking player. Zarkostis immediately apologizing. You see Zarkostis turns on the afterburners, loves to run in behind. Just catches Hammersley in the follow-through. There's not much in it. Well, there's Dave Carton, his first year, the former Charlotte Independence assistant, who is looking to implement his imprint on this new club, has mentioned what an excellent opportunity this is, and fluidity is the name of the game when you watch a Dave Carton-led side play. He talks a lot about how he wants to give his players a bevy of passing options when they pick up the ball deep. Wants to play a dynamic vertical style that produces goals, and going forward he's accomplished that. He's now mentioning it's just about minimizing the errors at the back, the lapses in concentration, which have cost them late in matches. And he does say, common sense suggests when we clean up one of those two statistical categories, the goals allowed or duels won, figures, we will go on a run. And I don't think a lot of teams want to see us once we notch that victory to end this run. Goaling. This is Calixtro. Ritchie. Goaling. And here is Ritchie. A point of emphasis going forward on the young match so far. Good to see Jaheim Brown back out and moving well. Guzin in space. Blasting this forward to Obregon. And read excellently by Sievert Haugley. Well, he's very versatile. Ian Fuller mentioning how this season playing more of a defensive mid role, but very capable of playing that center back spot. And with Danny Fernandez, the usual mainstay alongside Jordan Skelton out these last couple matches, he's been tasked with dropping into defense. It's not an unfamiliar role for him by any means. He played there a fair bit last year as well. As get another look at this coming together. And just tugging the kid of Goaling. Zarkostas. Well, there is Sean Lewis, one of the top goalkeepers in all of USL League One. Goalkeeper of the year in 2024, also an all-league second team selection. Drac hoping to test him in a matter of moments. Lays it off. Obregon looks for the return ball. Deflects out of play for the match's first corner for Westchester. They've started the match on the back foot, but beginning to grow into this over the course of the first half. It'll be Joel Johnson to take, who followed Dave Carton over from Charlotte Independence this offseason. One of two players to follow Carton from the Jags. Taken within swing to the heart of the area. Obregon got his head to it. Just deflected over the bar. Well, anytime J.C. Obregon Jr. is within striking distance of the penalty area, you have to worry. This was actually Jean-Baptiste who got his head to it. Slight miscommunication between himself and Obregon. Jaheim Brown, once again, is battling a concern around his head area. Well, there is Andrew Hammersley, his 5th consecutive start in all competitions for Westchester between the sticks. Someone who began the year behind the Loudon loanee, Dane Jacoman, on the depth chart. And it seemed like Dave Carton would rock with Dane Jacoman for the bulk of the year. But after a rocky performance against Spokane, he opted to insert Hammersley for the match against Charlotte. And basically has said he's played well enough where he's been able to keep starting. You look at the numbers, a 70% save rate, someone who also excelled at the college level with Sacred Heart. You can't fault him. He's definitely done a solid job, and I think the pièce de la résistance of his performances probably came in that Madison match when he was able to deny Madison from 12 yards to keep Westchester level and help preserve a draw on this very ground 3 weeks back. On the other side for One Knox, a side that's open on the front foot, but has yet to show any clear-cut chances for it that weren't disallowed. That duo, Zarakostis and Kempis Tequila, is always the 2 danger men for One Knox. Jaheim Brown finally will have to exit, unfortunately. A number of issues around his head. He's replaced by James McLeod. So the first alteration, and Ian Fuller is forced to make it early. Excuse me. It is Scott McLeod entering, the Kingston, Jamaica native, 22 years old. So Scott McLeod replaces Jaheim Brown. His first professional season after featuring at VCU in Richmond for 4 years. That substitution presented by Benjamin at Steakhouse, always a prime choice. Scott McLeod, very versatile defender. 1 goal to his name in the Open Cup. Meanwhile, Stephen Payne is slow to return to his feet. Definitely not what the doctor would have ordered for One Knoxville. Fuller mentioning how they focused a lot on tightening up the ship, says they've left Sean Lewis out to dry a couple times during this 5-match winless run in which results maybe haven't fully broken their way. Losing one of your key fullbacks definitely doesn't help matters, and now the onus falls on McLeod to make a difference. Set piece here for Westchester. Guzin hooking it in. It's a dangerous ball that evades everyone in blue. Well, fans, don't miss your chance to be part of history with Westchester's first professional soccer club. Season tickets start at just $18 per game, bringing you world-class action at an unbeatable value. Visit westchestersc.com to learn more and lock in your seat for the 2025 season. 2025 Westchester SC season tickets are on sale now. Just beyond the 30-minute threshold here at the stadium at Memorial Field. No score between Westchester and One Knox. But Westchester starting to grow into proceedings here tonight. It was a slow start by their standards, but beginning to see signs of life and the possessional control which we expected. Dave Carton mentioning the concern that One Knox can sometimes pass teams to death. That is the fate they need to avoid at all costs. Johnson hooks this in, headed by Jean-Baptiste. as far as Stephen Payne. Guzin sent flying. A whistle from our official. He's probably been the most dynamic presence for Westchester going forward so far. Saw his long-range effort that did not miss by much. Probably Westchester's best chance of the match to date. Tequila. Jean-Baptiste, too much hand fighting. Another set piece for One Knox. This roughly where they cause danger on the disallowed goal. And Stuart Ritchie getting another bite at the apple. Dangerous ball, stabbed away by Drack. Sadie giving chase. Final 10 minutes of this first half. Both sides have yet to conjure a clear-cut chance. We'll see if that changes here, though. Zarakostas toward the byline. Goes down, referee says play on. Now Ritchie. Westchester coping with that counter excellently. Get a look here. Starts with Zarakostas and then finds its way over actually to Gio Calixtro, who just tried to weave a web of lies, and the lies were rooted out. Sadie. Well, not much for Hammersley to contend with, outside of the one effort that didn't count. You look at the numbers so far. Westchester, an edge in expected goals, although both below 0.5 right now. A 6-2 shots edge, but only one shot on goal, and it's gone Knoxville's way. It has not been the most open affair, and you would figure that would benefit One Knoxville, a team that prides itself on its defensive security and staying in its shape. Westchester definitely better in a more free-flowing open game where their playmakers can get in space. Dave Carton mentioning this week on the phone his desire to rush One Knox, force them to play a bit faster than they're comfortable. Have not really seen that thus far, though. Well, fans, 2025 Westchester Soccer Club season tickets are now on sale. Don't miss your chance to be part of our historic inaugural season at Memorial Field in Mount Vernon. Catch all of the action, all of the fun, starting at just $18 per game. Tickets are selling fast. Visit westchestersc.com for more information. Business end of this first half. And the question is, will either side throw caution to the wind before intermission? It's a Westchester side that we've already mentioned, 17 points dropped from winning positions in all competitions. There's been clear emphasis on shoring that up, not taking too many risks, but they may find themselves stretched here. Tequila. Teta ensuring that goes nowhere. Payne. Hunting the run of Bauman. He's penalized for the dangling boot on the Knoxville defender. Sievert Haupley is slow to return to his feet. It's not a bad ball. It's a heavy touch, though, from Bauman, and then catches him on the follow-through. Well, it's a packed stadium here at the stadium at Memorial Field. Westchester SC, a rapidly growing support base, and there is your look at the 914th Infantry in all of its glory. It is a loaded stadium, a raucous crowd, one that seats just shy of 4,000, one of the more historic venues in USL League One. Officially opened its doors for Westchester SC in early April in the second round of the Open Cup. They've basically had 3 home openers because their official home opener was the Jägermeister Cup opener on April 27th, and then also played their official league home opener about a month ago on May 10th. And with each passing match, the fan base gets bigger and rowdier. Callum Johnson to take this corner. A rare corner kick for either side. Without swing.
Good job, man.
The stadium at Memorial Field, we mentioned the history of this venue. Built in 1931, it was renovated back in 2022, and it is a venue that's hosted some very historic events. Concerts by the likes of James Brown, Ella Fitzgerald, the Jackson 5 even, coming through this venue. I think it's most famous, though, for being the site of the famous Coke commercial in which Mean Joe Green made a name for himself. Had aired in the late 20th century. It was filmed at this very venue. Westchester issues dealing with this cross. All the way to McLeod. And now to play for yet another corner. That Coke commercial, a Super Bowl commercial. So some nice trivia tidbits for those wondering about the stadium at Memorial Field. Johnson getting more target practice. Another outswinger. It's not a bad ball. And that's cleared only as far as the edge of the area. Sarkostas. Now Obregon. A brilliant ball into the path of Sadie, and it may be a moment of reckoning here for Stuart Ritchie. The color of the card is red. Stuart Ritchie giving his marching orders, and Westchester a man up for the remaining 45 and change. Denial of an obvious goal-scoring opportunity, and Knoxville will have to weather the rest of this down a man. Well, there's no doubt about it. Sadie's through on goal. The only saving grace would have been McLeod rushing on to help. But Sadie, without the challenges behind both of them. Stuart Ritchie sent off to rather few complaints from at least himself. Skelton trying to advocate for him, but it appears to be a futile exercise. Stuart Ritchie sent off in the 44th minute. And the Westchester supporters love that decision. Serenading a Knoxville man for his decision. Sarcastically, might I add. Definitely a rough turn of events for Stuart Ritchie, who was enjoying such a positive display going forward. He will be forced into an early shower. Guzin stands over this free kick. This is the golden chance for Westchester to strike while the iron is hot. Guzin and Johnson in the vicinity. Guzin to take. It was an audacious effort and not one that troubles Lewis. With the way he blasted the first one, you can't complain. As you see, 5 minutes of stoppage time separate us from intermission. Ian Fuller mentioned to me on the phone this week that he felt that they hung Sean Lewis out to dry a bit too much over this recent stretch. I feel Sean Lewis's performances have been fine, but on occasion he's been called into action too much. I think that this sending off may unfortunately fit that category of description. We'll see if it allows Westchester to establish a vice grip on this. There's Abel Caputo. He's been the key presence in the pivot for One Knoxville. One of the better defensive midfielders in USL League One. Spent last season with Lexington SC. High arcing ball towards Calixtro. Does snatch this back. Johnson bashes away. Excellent layoff from Obregon. Here's Bauman. Zarkostis on the break, looking for Tequila. Cross just evades him. Johnson. Guzin. Westchester in their zone at the moment. Lovely switch. Sadie looking for Payne. It was a necessary intervention from Scott McLeod. Well, you do figure the red card affords Westchester the opportunity to take a few more risks going forward, especially given the recipient of the red, Stuart Ritchie, being one of the more attack-minded presences on the pitch, a fullback that is not shy about bombing forward. It stymies a major source of counter-attacking opportunity. McGlynn blasting it ahead, Options for a cross. Deflects harmlessly back to Lewis. Dean Guzan's enjoyed a positive first half. I don't think that is a moment that supports the argument, though. Well, fans, soccer season is here, and SeatGeek is the official ticketing partner of the USL. Get all your USL tickets and more from the #1 ticketing site, SeatGeek, your ticket to great seats. Tell you what, it would have been hard to get tickets tonight. The stadium at Memorial Field is packed and raucous. An excellent environment here in Westchester County. Saturday night under the lights at the stadium at Memorial Field. Part of a large homestand for Westchester SC at the moment. 6 matches to be precise. Final foray forward. Excellent ball through to Bauman, and he's unable to win the foot race. They will settle for a corner. Necessary intervention from Howgley. It will be Guzan to take. Likely the last involvement going forward for Westchester this half. In-swinging ball. Across the face of goal. And McGlynn just bashing it over the bar. And that is where we leave things. Well, after one half of action, Westchester establishing control of the match, but still nothing to show for it on the score sheet. The defining moment, the Stuart Ritchie red card on the precipice of halftime, sent off in the 44th minute, and Westchester not shy about sending numbers forward since. The question is, can they turn that into an actual opener? We will see after halftime. At intermission, though, nothing to separate these two sides. A scoreless stalemate after 45 minutes between Westchester and One Knox. Stick with us here on ESPN Plus, the halftime show next from Westchester.
Healthy means you can do what makes you happy. With the people who make you smile. Health First insurance plans connect you to care you can trust. For a happy family and a healthy future. With Health First, it's all within your reach. Being healthy means you can do what makes you happy. With the people who make you smile. Health First insurance plans connect you to care you can trust. For a happy family and a healthy future. With Health First, it's all within your reach.
We welcome you back to Westchester County, and we're at halftime. No score between Westchester SC and One Knoxville SC in picturesque New York State. We say hello and welcome back from Westchester County. It's time to take a look at the USL Super League. The playoffs going on this weekend. In fact, a match going on right now on Peacock between Tampa Bay and Dallas Trinity. That is the first semifinal. And then tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern, Carolina Ascent, the regular season table toppers, hosting Fort Lauderdale United. And then, of course, the final on June 14th. What an exciting 2 weeks of footy it will be in the USL Super League. Now time to take a look at USL League One and our team of the week. One familiar face, if you are a Westchester fan, it's none other than Juan Carlos Obregon Jr., who did score against Richmond Kickers in Week 12. He actually followed that up with a team of the round nod in round 2 with his brace from the penalty spot last week against Chartford Athletic. And then as you look further throughout the side, some standout players. Jaden Onan scoring, Andres Farine also on the list, 3 Naples players. No representation, though, from one Knox, who they fell to Charlotte Independence. Well, it's now time to take another quick breather on our halftime show, but before that, let's get a look at our Player of the Month nominees in USL League One.
Alta, Lobos with a mistouch. Not on the counter here, Charlotte. Through to Maru, it's popped up!
Track joining the fold. Obregon trying from afar. This is audacious, and it's in!
Shot delivered, saved and covered. Amazing!
Stay on it. Lifted long towards Castro. Castro brings it down. Oh, what a save! Javier Garcia.
A loaded Player of the Month race for the month of May. As things stand here, Westchester and 1 Knox in a stalemate in halftime. We will step aside when we return a look around USL League One here from Westchester.
Today we went to the beach and it was totally worth it. Stay 3 nights this summer at Best Western and get $50 off a future stay.
How does Crystal Geyser Alpine Spring Water keep you in the game? We always source our water directly from the natural spring to fuel every body, no matter how you like to move it. So whether you're chasing your goals or just staying active this summer, make sure to stay hydrated with Crystal Geyser Alpine Spring Water. Always bottled at the natural spring source.
Pain doesn't care who you are or why you hurt, but pain can be mastered if you know the way.
Focus!
Fight back with Tiger Balm's legendary herbal power.
Whatever it takes.
Trusted for over 100 years. Tiger Balm's proven herbal blend tames pain with the strength and speed of the tiger so that you can rise above pain.
Let's make a Karate Kid.
And get back to living. This is the way of the tiger.
Inside, bang! Out in front, Westchester.
You expect Manhattan-level care, and you live in Westchester. With Northwell, you'll find it all right here through this store in Terrytown, and this one in Katona, at Phelps Hospital and Northern Westchester Hospital. It's where you'll find a vast network of world-class doctors delivering everything from primary care to the most complex neurosurgery and cancer treatments. And it's all part of New York's most awarded health system, with every door leading to extraordinary care right here in Westchester. Northwell. Raise health.
Back here in Westchester, in front of a loaded crowd at the stadium at Memorial Field. No score at halftime between Westchester SC and one Knoxville, but an exciting affair brewing here in Westchester. Time to get a look at our news and notes from around USL League One. How about Kevin O'Connor's Olympico goal landing at #1 on SportsCenter? He is the second man from the month of May to do that. JC Obregon Jr. also did it with his 70-yard goal against Westchester. And then 4 League One clubs winning shootout victories over championship opponents in round 2 of the Jägermeister Cup. And then finally, 2 more matches on ESPN2, How about this? Westchester SC on ESPN2 against Detroit City in the Jägermeister Cup, all part of the summer of soccer in the USL. Speaking of USL League One, how about we get a look around the rest of the league? At halftime right now, Chattanooga Red Wolves leading Portland Hearts of Pine. As things stand, Chattanooga would go 4th in the table. Meanwhile, also at halftime, Richmond with an even scoreline against Texoma, an early advantage for Charlotte Independence in Statesboro. That's your look at the Saturday scores in USL League One. And in terms of the rest of the night, how about the upcoming schedule? Again, a loaded Saturday slate, 7 games in USL League One. Here is your look at the remaining matches in the league. It is a busy stretch. It is going to be Forward Madison hosting Union Omaha. That's the biggest one, a match that's just getting underway on the Golazo network. But yes, it is a very, very lively stretch. Here is your look at the upcoming schedule. You start with Forward Madison in Omaha, then later tonight at 11, AB Alta hosting Spokane Velocity in a USL League One After Dark edition. Later on in the week, it gets busy once again. FC Naples on Golazo on 7:30 tomorrow, and then some other matches as well coming up. Well, at halftime, still no score in this one between Westchester and one Knox. We will continue on with the halftime show and look back at the first half when we return here from Westchester County. A good one brewing. Stick with us here on the other side of the break.
Manhattan-level care, and you live in Westchester. With Northwell, you'll find it all right here through this store in Terrytown and this one in Katona, at Phelps Hospital and Northern Westchester Hospital. It's where you'll find a vast network of world-class doctors delivering everything from primary care to the most complex neurosurgery and cancer treatments. And it's all part of New York's most awarded health system, with every door leading to extraordinary care right here in Westchester. Northwell. Raise health.
Being healthy means you can do what makes you happy. With the people who make you smile. Health First insurance plans connect you to care you can trust. For a happy family and a healthy future. With Health First, it's all within your reach.
Back here in Mount Vernon on the halftime show from the stadium at Memorial Field, a 0-0 scoreline between Westchester SC and one Knoxville after 45 minutes of action. It's time to get a look back at those opening 45 minutes, and we nearly got off to a flying start in front of a capacity crowd here at Memorial Field. After just 2 minutes, Stuart Ritchie causing a scare. This ball headed across, Kempis Tequila heading it in, but offside according to our fourth official, and Knoxville denied an early opener. But there were more chances where that came from. Knoxville actually got off on the front foot tonight, but then Westchester grew into it. Prince Sadie nearly finding the far side netting with this lovely curler, just missing by whiskers wide at the far post. An excellent bit of individual skill to cut inside Ritchie, and he nearly provided the spectacular. And then Westchester, as the half wore on, began to take it over. Dean Guzin, a number of standout moments. This, the biggest one, just blasting this wide, nearly created a thunderbolt to open the scoring. And then from a corner as well, Andrew Jean-Baptiste just heading it over. This was the moment of the first half, though. Stuart Ritchie tugging down Prince Sadie, a clear denial of an obvious goal-scoring opportunity, and given his marching orders in the 44th minute on the precipice of halftime. And now One Knox will be forced to weather the final half of play, a man down. Your look at the first half stats. No surprise that Westchester bossed the possession, doubling up One Knox in shots as well. But the most glaring number is actually the shots on target number. Westchester, for all of its dominance, has yet to put a shot on goal. They will need to change that if they hope to capitalize and notch their first league victory since March 29th. That's your look at the halftime stats. A pretty clean first half, with the exception, of course, of Stuart Ritchie's straight red card. Really indisputable denial of an obvious goal-scoring opportunity. Back here on this Saturday night under the lights at Memorial Field, the first league match that Westchester has played with a 7 p.m. kickoff, and the fans have not disappointed. You hear it in the background, you see it on your screen. This is a monumental night for Westchester Soccer Club. They will hope to turn it into a monumental night on the score sheet. It will be Westchester going right to left on your screen. One Knox going left to right. Can either of these sides end their winless runs? We will find out after 45 minutes and stoppage time. We await our head official, Denny Kulasinek's whistle, and we receive it. Back underway here from Westchester County. Westchester hoping to capitalize on their man up for this second half. Well, we welcome you back in. Sam Goldfarb bringing you all of the action. Buckle up. This could be very fun, especially seeing as Westchester gained in confidence rapidly as that first half wore on. Already our official stopping play. And there seems to be an issue with our football.
Swapping balls and showing up just the same.
Johnson.
Yeah, I feel like he's a little Two cameras? I don't know. I feel like the dude last week was good. He's been with us for like the beginning.
Well, an exchange of hardware and back underway. McGlynn. Spraying it wide. Here's Johnson, a key cog in the midfield for Westchester. Sadie darts past one defender, looking for Obregon. It was loose for a matter of moments and scrambled away. Now Goaling punting this forward. Hammersley way off his line. Bauman. we'll see how Knoxville settles into this. They had to cope with a late set of chances that Westchester created, but managed to minimize the quality, and nothing that Sean Lewis couldn't really contend with. But over the course of this second half, you can expect Westchester to press the issue even more than usual. And it sets the stage for what should be an enthralling second half of play, because at the same token, Westchester can't get overzealous going forward and then risk being exposed on the counter, especially given that their fluidity can be a double-edged sword in that regard when they give it away. McGlynn picks out Obregon with expertise. Has Draken support. Toward the byline, shrugged off it confidently. Well, there were no changes at halftime for Ian Fuller, so he seems confident with the 10 he has on the field right now. Of course, the man they lost was a fullback, and I think a fullback or a forward would usually who you sacrifice for a more integral presence, like a center back or a goalkeeper. Here's Johnson, terrific ball into the path of Sadie. There's the opener. A spectacular team goal from Westchester. Dazzling, 1-0 Westchester. A brilliant ball, perfectly weighted, perfectly timed run, and Prince Sadie with his second in as many league matches. Fields it so well, beyond the reach of Lewis, and rolls it into the back of the net. Well, there is the quality from the former longtime championship man who joined Westchester here in February. Did battle through some ups and downs early in the year, but he's starting to gain confidence and quick. That's a second in the last 2 league games. Opening the scoring against Richmond, opening the scoring here tonight against Knoxville. Well, if you're a neutral, things certainly get interesting now. When Knox has to chase it, down a man. But they'll have to pick their spots very, very carefully. Undone by an unbelievable over-the-top through ball from Joel Johnson. Well, fans can't watch the match? Turn on Sirius XM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access on Tuesday nights. Plus, hear live matches from the USL, MLS, Premier League, and more. All on Sirius XM FC 157 and the new Sirius XM app. 1-0 to Westchester SC. Prince Sadie opening the scoring after a fantastic ball from Joel Johnson. And they make 10-man Knoxville pay in the early stages of this second half. Drag. Well, you hear this venue has been rocking all night. It's got a new layer of party-like atmosphere now. Here's Sadie, the goal scorer. Cutting inside, it's Sadie again. Deflects. And out for just a goal kick. That goal by Prince Sadie is the embodiment of what Dave Carton hopes for. Vertical play, dynamism in the blink of an eye. And now the question is, can they see this result over the line or even double the lead? They have been through a house of horrors when it comes to protecting advantages, especially in the last 5 matches. A 3rd consecutive defeat in all competitions would definitely not be what Ian Fuller hoped for after those 2 weeks off, falling 2 Fridays ago in 1-0 fashion against Indy 11 after Elvis Amo's wonder strike from probably about 40 yards. It was a goal that Ian Fuller says was preventable. They should have cut it out at the source. But they find themselves on the back foot here, and Westchester charging forward again. Drack on the overlap is just unable to keep this in play. Well, fans, Select is proud to be the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship. From the Academy to the big league, Select is there every step of the way. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select product specials and more. Select, the player's choice. 55 minutes gone. Westchester 1 to the good. Another switch. Sadie. He and Stephen Payne playing with so much confidence on that right flank. It's been the story of the night for those two. And the way they've knocked it about with such dominance. It is a far cry from the way they started. Knoxville overran them for about 10 minutes. Westchester couldn't play out of their own half, let alone create. It has been a welcome reversal of fortune, albeit aided by the Stuart Ritchie red card. Flick-on header towards Tequila. He nearly won the foot race. Jean-Baptiste forced to knock that out of play for a corner. If Knoxville is to find a way back into the match, you would fancy set pieces to be the reason why. Callum Johnson has delivered a couple of appetizing balls into the box from corners. Can he produce another here? It's tight on Hammersley. Falls to Calixtro. Zarakostas put his laces through it, but no trouble for Hammersley. Well, he's a player that Ian Fuller has challenged to be freer in the 2 weeks off. 4-1 Knoxville. He said that while they do like to have defined patterns of build-up, he thinks that the game is growing a bit too tactical, and he has told his wingers, especially Zarakostas and Calixtro and a few others, including Kamarni Smith, who's on the bench tonight, that they should feel free to try and grab the match by the scruff of the neck and sprint in behind as well. Let them roam a bit. That's been the biggest adjustment they've focused on in their 2 weeks between matches, a weird scheduling anomaly for 1 Knox. Here's Johnson. Now Bauman. Payne, Sadie in space, and options aplenty. Looking back for Payne on the cutback, just narrowly behind him. And a late challenge now. And if that is Johnson, he's already on a yellow, and now he may be shown red. Well, what a turn of events this is. The man advantage neutralized, and Joel Johnson shown a second yellow card. The second time Johnson has been sent off, and the second time he's received that second yellow. He's pleading his case, but he did catch goaling quite late here. He does try to pull out of the challenge, and maybe the attacking player sells it, but he still impedes Callum Johnson, it is. Perhaps it's harsh. But either way, it's time for him to take a breather. Both teams down to 10. Joel Johnson is irate on the touchline. Sent off after just 59 minutes. And Dave Carton's headaches may pop up here. He may be dealt some familiar headaches here, I should say. On the hour mark. This just got much more nervy. Westchester trying to counter again. Guzin. Well, if Westchester is to earn their first league victory since late March, they'll have to do it the hard way. The question is, can they finally see a result over the finish line? It's been the question for the better part of 2 months. There is space to roam here on the far side. Obregon. Guzin. McGlynn. Late challenge on Payne. Well, if you are just joining us, just beyond the hour mark here in Westchester County, Sam Goldfarb bringing you all of the action, and what an eventful last 20 minutes or so it's been dating back to the first half. Stuart Ritchie sent off with a straight red for a denial of an obvious goal-scoring opportunity just before halftime, and then Prince Sadie shortly after the restart, making Knoxville pay. But moments ago, Joel Johnson shown a second yellow card, one that himself and Dave Carton appeared to question. And now both sides once again on an even playing field, and it definitely alters the tactical trajectory of things, especially for one Knox. Calixtro is offside. Two changes being readied for one Knox. So it'll be Kamarni Smith as well as Heath Martin entering the action. Kamarni Smith, a former 4th overall pick in the 2021 MLS Super Draft for DC United, his second USL League One campaign, meanwhile, as well. Another change as Abel Caputo vacates. Both substitutions presented by Benjamin Steakhouse, always a prime choice. Well, Heath
I
Martin
thought we was gonna get this sub
joined
right
from
there.
Albion San Diego in Nisa this year. It is his first league appearance of the year. He's only been an unused substitute, 24 years of age, and he makes his USL League One debut. Meanwhile, Camarni Smith, someone who hit the top heights of American soccer, now finds himself in League One for the second straight year, and despite lacking goals, he definitely provides danger. Meanwhile, Calixtro is the man to vacate for Smith. That's like for like. Snatch back. Bauman towards Obregon. Through traffic for McGlynn. Just wide. Plenty of sting in it, though. It's excellent interplay. Obregon draws the defenders, and he leaves it on a platter for Connor McGlynn, who was not far off the top corner. Well, a busy day for the McGlynn family. Of course, Connor playing tonight. Earlier today, his brother Jack playing just a couple hours up the road in East Hartford. The United States men's national team hosting Turkey. It was a 2-1 win for the visitors, a difficult defeat for the United States ahead of the Gold Cup, as another yellow is brandished, this time against Andrew Jean-Baptiste. You see here Jean-Baptiste fighting for it. Just leaves that boot dangling, and no real questions about a booking. High arcing ball. Hammersley punches. Wasn't dealt with initially, but it is at the second time of asking. Now Obregon takes a bump in the back. There's a yellow out from our lead official, Denny Kulasenak. And it is shown to a Knoxville man, Callum Johnson, in the book. He's irate with this decision. It's a 50-50 challenge. Not a lot in it, to be fair. But Callum Johnson is shown the yellow for his slightly reckless tackle. Well, fans catch every heart-pounding moment at Westchester's home stadium at Memorial Field in Mount Vernon. 2025 season tickets are on sale now, offering flexible payment plans, priority access, discounts, invites to exclusive events, and much more. Don't miss out on an unforgettable season of fun, friends, community, and soccer. Visit westchestersc.com to become a 2025 season ticket member today. We approach the final 20 minutes from that very stadium at Memorial Field. Still 1-0 to Westchester. This should be a very, very nervy final 20 as Westchester looks for its first victory in league play since March 29th. That was a 2-1 win at Texoma. They have not won a league match on their home patch. Hearing word that Angelo Kelly is getting set to enter for One Knox, and it may be Callum Johnson who's tipped to depart. Well, here's McGlynn again. He has pulled all the strings. Tequila. He would be the man tipped to make a difference. Now Kamarni Smith. Stood up by Drag. Smith winning it back. Zarakostas back for Smith. Heavy touch takes him wide. Down in the area and an immediate point to the spot. Well, there's no questions about this. It appeared Hammersley got none of the ball, and it sets up Knoxville with a chance to equalize from 12 yards. It's a heavy touch that takes Smith wide. Hammersley does not get an ounce of that ball. And now he is going to be forced to make more penalty kick heroics to preserve the advantage for Westchester. He'll have to cope with one of the best penalty takers in all of USL League One. Kempis Tequila unsurprisingly stands over it. 2 of his 3 goals in all competitions have come from 12 yards. A third would bring Knoxville level. It is Tequila against Hammersley. A major tipping point in this clash. Tequila delivers. And was there any other outcome that would occur? 1-1. He is about as sure-footed as they come from the spot. And he steps up to pull Knoxville level again. Hammersley guesses the right way, but Tequila just puts it beyond his reach. A well-taken penalty, not a lot of ferocity, but an accurately placed spot kick. Well, there is the German, 27 years old, and he made a name for himself last season, Kempis Tequila did, with 13 goals in all competitions. He steps up with his 4th of the year and 3rd in league play. It'll be Angelo Kelly, who now replaces Callum Johnson. That substitution presented by Benjamin Steakhouse, always a prime choice. With just under 20 to play, Westchester's lead neutralized. And a familiar match script may be on the cards now. A team that, as things stand, would have dropped 19 from winning positions in all comps if this holds. Guzin hoping to change that. Drac crosses towards Obregon. Deflects out of play, and it is just a goal kick. Fans, don't miss your chance to be part of history with Westchester's first professional soccer club. Season tickets start at just $18 per game, bringing you world-class action at an unbeatable value. Visit westchestersc.com to learn more and lock in your seat for the 2025 season. 2025 Westchester SC season tickets are on sale now. Well, Westchester will chase this. Unsurprisingly, it is Johnny Bolaños who is set to enter for Dean Guzin. The golden playmaker in USL League One in 2022 with Richmond Kickers. Someone who opened the year as a starter. He's getting set to replace Guzin, although that change may wait for a few more moments. Dave Carton changing his mind at the 11th hour here. Well, hold that. We'll see if the change does take place. Bolaños is clearly being ready to enter. Well, we'll see what Dave Carton has in mind. He's bringing Dean Guzin over, so The change now will be, instead of Guzin exiting, it will be Andrew Jean-Baptiste. So how about this? Very much caution to the wind. A dynamic wing presence for an outside center back in Jean-Baptiste. That substitution presented by Benjamin Steakhouse, always a prime choice. This would signify a change in formation. They bring off a center back for a winger. Perhaps they drop Baumann into the center of the park and move Bolaños onto the front line. Meanwhile, Payne and Drac may be forced into more traditional fullback roles. It's definitely a massive change in approach from Dave Carton. And I think that he has one thing on his mind, and it's 3 points instead of 1. Into the final quarter of an hour, it hangs on a knife edge once again. Prince Sadie opening the scoring in the 51st, Kempis Tequila leveling things from the spot 10 minutes later. Both sides down to 10 men, a red card for Stuart Ritchie before intermission, a second yellow card for Joel Johnson just before the hour mark. There is the substitute Angelo Kelly, someone who's best known as a center midfielder, although did enjoy a lively spurt as a left winger to begin the 2024 season. He was named March Player of the Month in 2024. Now in a loaded midfield room that has plenty of engines. Well, fans, eFootball is here. Live your dream, rep your team, and play as your favorite USL Championship club. eFootball is free to play. Download now. Smith, he won the penalty that led to Tequila's equalizer. Two changes about to take place for One Knox. Babacar Dieng and Nico Rosamilia are entering. It is Kempis Tequila, the goal scorer, to exit, as is Stavros Zarakostis. Like-for-like changes, Babacar Dieng has been the regular replacement for Kempis Tequila and the starter in cup competition. Meanwhile, Nico Rosamilia has enjoyed an extended spurt in the team. He opened the year as an unused substitute, but the 22-year-old Rutgers product is beginning to get more and more minutes with each passing week. Meanwhile, Dieng spent last season in USL Championship with Pittsburgh Riverhounds and has scored all 3 of his goals in the US Open Cup this year. Both substitutions presented by Benjamin Steakhouse, always a prime choice.
I was gonna get the people coming out the game, but
Obregon. And here is Baumann. Sadie, the goal scorer for Westchester. And he does take a total one that double in Westchester's now 10-man lineup. It will be Bolaños and Guzin standing over this. Tucked in. Cleared only as far as Drac. Driving towards the byline. McGlynn. Drac loses out. And a loose touch from McLeod. Dien, his first touch. McLeod has Smith in support, and a rapid break here from One Knox. Read brilliantly by Tedda. Still donning that face mask at times after suffering a broken nose earlier in the season. Westchester is making a change, and it may be the curtain call for Prince Sadie. Samori Powder replacing him as an impact substitute, getting a chance to play in his more natural right wing role. The brother of Noah Powder, who is also on the Westchester SC roster, but not included in the squad tonight due to injury. It is a Westchester team that is still getting fully healthy.
He gave you some props earlier, though.
And this gives us a chance to remind you that the USL Championship and League One are on CBS Sports and ESPN platforms all season long. Catch live matches and expert analysis every day on the CBS Sports Golazo Network and ESPN+. Go to USLChampionship.com or USLLeague1.com for the complete USL TV listings. This match feels like it has another goal in it. The question is, who will provide it? Westchester trying to eliminate some of its demons of past matches. So many scenarios in which they led in the second half and fell. The Hartford game last week coming to mind. Led by 2 goals in the first half against Richmond before having to settle for a draw as well. It has been a run of form in which the performances have been there, but the results have not. And at some point, it has to come to an end. It's just a question of who will provide that magical moment. Tedda is fouled. There's Stephen Payne, a veteran of the USL League One ranks, part of that Richmond Kickers team in 2022 alongside Johnny Bolaños that won the Players' Shield, finished top, and then was eliminated in the semifinals by Chattanooga Red Wolves as part of Chattanooga's Cinderella run to the final that year.
385, you heard that?
He is a key presence at right back. Well, fans, 2025 Westchester Soccer Club season tickets are on sale. Don't miss your chance to be part of our historic inaugural season at Memorial Field in Mount Vernon. Catch all of the action and all of the fun starting at just $18 per game. Tickets are selling fast. Visit westchestersc.com for more information. Another change, Ermin Makcic into the fray. He replaces Daniel Baumann. Ermin Makcic, a regular super sub these last couple months. 20 years old, out of Yonkers, New York, returning from Montenegro's top flight in February to play in the USL. Still hangs on a knife edge. and still awaiting a potential difference maker. Terrific flick here. Guzin sprays it wide to Bolaños. Rushing to the byline. Deflects out to Drac. It's not a bad ball in. Dien now giving chase. Already had one defender for pace. Support didn't arrive in nearly enough time. We are inside the final 5 minutes now from the stadium at Memorial Field. And as things stand, both these teams' prolonged winless runs are poised to continue. For Westchester, it would hit 10 matches after holding yet another second half advantage. For Knoxville, it would actually be a pretty hard-fought result, all things considered, and not a bad performance by any means, despite the lack of chances going forward. Would be another day of frustration if Westchester comes up shy of another 3. Rosamilia. McLeod. Kelly. Linking up well with Dien. Return ball didn't have enough steam on it. And this is Samori Powder. Bolaños. Johnson is the man that provided the opener with his unbelievable through ball. It's a major loss for someone who's a valuable presence in midfield. Powder, cross to the near post. It may have ricocheted off that post and goes out for a Westchester corner. Samori Powder opened the year as a fullback, but he is best known for his presence going forward on the flanks. He has now been deployed in his natural role with the addition of Josh Drac. And Obregon stands over this corner. Arcing towards the back stick, headed along by McGlynn, and no trouble for Lewis in the end. The USL on the CBS Sports Network kicks off the summer with a June 18th League One matchup. Ford Madison FC takes on newcomer Westchester SC at 8 p.m. Eastern. Catch all of the action on the CBS Sports Network on Wednesday, June 18th. And of course, at Breese-Stevens Field, it will be Westchester's first ever trip there after fighting Madison to a 1-1 draw on this very ground last month. Should promise to be a fantastic affair. The question is, you just wonder if they can enter it on more pleasant terms than a 10-match winless run. Bolaños. Looking back for Bolaños now. Early cross in. A clearance that was definitely nervy, but did enough of a job. A business decision that could have gone very awry this. Excellent link up. You see Bolaños gets there first. The first time cross was looking for Powder, and it did require Haugley's attention. Final minute of the initial 90. The pressure continues to mount for Westchester. Obregon within swing. Nobody there to greet it. All eyes will be on the fourth official in a matter of seconds. And is this where Obregon's goal-scoring run comes to an end? 4 straight finding the back of the net. 5 goals in that span in all comps. One more would surely provide Westchester with a much coveted 3 points. Six minutes of added time. That will be a welcome sight for those here in Westchester. Payne is penalized. Rosamilia winning Knoxville a free kick, one that helps them alleviate the pressure as well. Kelly stands over this. Chance to snag one against the grain late. Hooking in, dangerous ball. It's popped up. And ultimately an anticlimactic end to that set piece. Goaling gives chase. Time running out rapidly on Westchester in its pursuit of a monumental victory. Knoxville, a business-like performance in the second half. They've remained obdurate defensively with the exception of the Sadie opener. They did so well to battle back. Can they find late drama? Long throw. Flicked all the way through. Track gets his head to it. And the whistle sounds now against Knoxville. Maybe someone with curriculars out. Halfway through the added 6 minutes. Ermin Makic hoping to provide a difference-making spark as a late match sub. Smith blasting it towards DN. Hammersley is off his line and rather comfortable for him. Smith. Obregon is back to assist. And mission successful. Rosamilia. Goaling. Forward to DN. Numbers now for Knoxville. Back in front of goal. A chance for one Knox. Cleared off the line by Drac. They do just enough to prevent a late winner. brilliant ball from Kelly. And it finds the feet of Rosamilia, who just runs over it. And that buys Westchester the time it needs to recover. Corner without swing. Track heads away. And is there space for Westchester on the break? Bolaños turning on the afterburners. Bolaños! Lewis cuts down the angle. Poised goalkeeping from the 33-year-old. It has opened up in a flash. Smith. Glenn makes himself an obstacle. Was that the final chance for Westchester? Bolaños, for a moment it appeared he was through. Trying to drive it beyond Lewis, but couldn't get the touch required. And Lewis does so well to obstruct his pathway goalward. We are beyond the added 6 minutes. Is there time for one final foray forward? No, there is not. The full-time whistle sounds. A hard-fought point earned by both sides this evening. Westchester gets off to the flying start. Prince Sadie opening the scoring, but Kempis Tequila able to steal a point away from home with his penalty kick equalizer. The spoils shared between Dave Carton and Ian Fuller. An evenly contested match in which neither side can find the late breakthrough, and both squads settle for a point. We'll step aside briefly. When we return, a look back at those 90 minutes. Stick with us.
Being healthy means you can do what makes you happy. With the people who make you smile. Health First insurance plans connect you to care you can trust. For a happy family. And a healthy future. With Health First, it's all within your reach.
What an eventful 90 minutes this was from Westchester County tonight. The spoils shared between Westchester and One Knox. Both teams entered desperate for victories, and One Knox nearly got off to a flying start. This header across the face of goal. Tequila nodding it in, but the offside flag raised after just 2 minutes. Then right before halftime, Prince Sadie seemingly through. Stuart Ritchie makes himself an impediment, and an illicit impediment, according to our official, a straight red card, dooming Knoxville to 10 men for the remainder of the contest. And Westchester would capitalize. An unbelievable through ball from Joel Johnson to Prince Sadie, who opened the scoring after 51 minutes of play. And you wondered, was this the night where Westchester would eradicate that winless stretch? For a moment, it looked to be the case. A goal up and a man up, but then things turned. Johnson sent off. Tequila converting from 12 yards to level the scoreline just beyond the 70-minute threshold. And that is where things sat after 90 minutes of play. A lively end to proceedings, but ultimately both teams forced to settle for a draw. And when you look at these numbers, I think Ian Fuller probably will be the more content of the two managers. Westchester out-possessing, out-shooting, and putting more shots on goal than their visitors this evening. It is a frustrating break for Dave Carton's side, which is now 10 winless in all competitions. Well, that is where things finish here from Westchester County this evening. It was a sensational start to the second half for Westchester, but pegged back just 20 minutes from time and forced to settle for just a point at home. It was a hard-fought match and a very terrific one in the late stages. For our terrific crew, I'm Sam Goldfarb saying so long from Westchester, where it finishes 1-1. Have a great rest of your night, everyone.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.